and they're gonna sting me for that privilege, because that's one big, massive toll. But I don't care. For me, it's all about the bridge. This morning sees a rainy Sunday morning, and I waxed lyrically in the past about being able to drive from the UK all the way across Central and Eastern Europe into Estonia and into Finland without paying a single toll. Well, that's about to change because I'm in Sweden. Got here last night off the ferry, and had no intention of stopping here, so we're straight out on the road. And as I've already alluded to, I'm not a fan of driving on the continent at night. I think it's a bit of a pain, but I was never going to stop in Stockholm, and there are a couple of reasons why. One, I've been to Stockholm before. Some years ago now, I came to watch the Stockholm Marathon, and I knocked about here for a couple of days. And two, Stockholm and Sweden in general, quite expensive. And the same can be said for Denmark, which is where I'm headed. And you may not know that the entity that is the Cowboy camper actually started 2 years ago in Denmark, on Twitter and on Instagram. And slowly over the years it's evolved into this, or an attempt at the vlogging game, which I started last year in Corsica. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And the reason why I'm doing this particular route, this anti-clockwise circle, is because when I was in Denmark, I had the opportunity to cross the 8.Malmo bridge, or the Oresund bridge. I think that's how they pronounce it. And I didn't do it. Opportunity lost. And I have crossed the Millau Bridge in France, which is the tallest viaduct in Europe. But I wasn't filming then, so I didn't really record that experience. So, as I'm in Sweden and I'm heading down to Denmark, there are two ways I can do this. I can get a ferry, or I can cross the bridge, and they're gonna sting me for that privilege, because that's one big, massive toll. But I don't care. For me, it's all about the bridge. So the Malmo bridges then. Now before you jump down all over me, there's a reason why I've said that, and I'll go into that in a second. The real name for the bridge is the Oresund, as I've already said, and I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And it links Sweden to Denmark, or Denmark to Sweden, whichever way you want to look at it. It's a particularly new bridge. It was built in July 2000, or that's when it opened. And it's absolutely massive. And the bridge part, the actual structure that you can see, well, that starts in Malmo, hence the reason why I said the Malmo Bridge. And it runs for 8 kilometres. At the end of the 8 kilometres, the bridge, the roadway and the train line which runs underneath the bridge disappears into the sea by way of a man-made island, and the bridge continues to Copenhagen along a 4-kilometre tunnel. Now I had a look at on the internet to see where the road goes into the sea, and it's something to behold, and I suggest you go and have a look. But when you consider the amount of construction and the effort that went into building this particular connection to make this connection happen, you can see why the toll is as steep as it is. And it has come down in price, believe it or not. A one-way ticket, myself and the van, to get across this bridge is 53 euros. And I'll say that again, it's 53 euros. Now you might say, well, hang on a second, it's possibly cheaper getting the ferry. And you know what, it may well be cheaper, and I haven't checked the price, to be fair. But when you consider that what you're also paying for is the expediency of taking this route. Now on a ferry you have to go through border control because we're going to another country. You have to wait in that line, you then have to wait to get yourself on the ferry. You can then get yourself on the ferry. Once you're there, you're got to find yourself a seat and get yourself comfortable, and then partake in some of the refreshments at the ridiculous costs that they can be. And then you've got to wait to get off the other side. Now, I think the whole thing is comparable. And when you consider you can get across this bridge in 20 minutes, I think it's well worth it. So yeah, it's all about this bridge at this moment in time, and I'm going to enjoy it. Didn't feel much this morning because I was driving in the torrential rain from Denmark, now back in Germany, and I thought I'd stop off at Hamburg. I've never been here before, or at least I don't think I have. Park the van up, could have a couple of hours trotting around and see what Hamburg has to offer. In truth, there's just a restaurant and bar in this part. I'm not quite sure how you get to the concert hall bit. But if I find out, I'll let you know. Tale of two cities then, it would seem. Whereas where I drove into seemed very refined and elegant and sharp and had a Chicago-esque type feel to it. This place, where's the bar? Well, that's clearly it's where, as I said, all the tomfoolery takes place and all the drinking. Doesn't look like much now, but I'm sure during the night time it's all glitzy glamour, lights and sounds, and all the other bits that you associate with that type of place. And now, not being prudish, but well, it's a bit yesterday, I've got to say, very seafrontish, and that's not to slate any seafront. But kind of get the picture, just needs updating. Yeah, not my cup of tea. Hamburg then, who knew? What a great place. There's an awful lot going on here. Really impressive. Well worth a stopover. But for me this is a dart in, dart out. Again, I never intended to stay here or even come here. It was just on my journey out of Denmark, and I thought it'd be rude not to pop in and say hello. And I definitely haven't been here before. But I'll definitely come here again when I've got a little bit more time. I suppose the theme now is dart in, dart out for the next few days, various different places, places that take me fancy. Because I'm at the north of Germany and around that kind of area, I'm going to kind of stay around the north, possibly head into Belgium or into Amsterdam on the way back to the ferry, which is a few days away, to be fair. So yeah, dart in, dart out. Hamburg, if you haven't been here, come here. It's a great place.